Next episode, Griffon the Brush off. I actually really like that title. So right off the bat, we're just going to go right into what I think about the episode. I give it a 3 out of 5. This is an episode that I wouldn't go out of my way to watch, but I also wouldn't actively avoid watching. So the upsides to this episode. Pinky and Rainbow's jokes are actually pretty funny. Junior's Speedster song is actually pretty cute, although I don't really consider it a song. It's more like a chant, I guess. I like that Pinky actually assumes that most Griffons aren't massive jerks during this. Yeah, good job, Pinky. So, the downsides of this episode. You'll notice that was a really short list. The Penguin. I think I've actually complained too much about how annoying Pinkie Pie was in the first few seasons, but she really points this out this time. Her fangirling at the start is really, really annoying. Which brings up Dash thinking she's annoying. Are we to believe that Dash and Pinky are not really friends at this point? This actually brings up an important point of discussion about how close the 5 Ponyville ponies were before Twilight got there. At times, we seem to think that they were all friends, and in others it's clear that Twilight was actually the center point in this friend circle. And I'm thinking about it too hard now, yeah. Applejack, by the way, looks really weird when she runs on her hind legs, throwing apples. Griffons also have both teeth and beaks. That's creepy. Pinky setting up a fake prank on Fluttershy to prank Dash is actually pretty clever and shows that she's not stupid, she's just insane and annoying. One of the first things that really does, like, legitimately not joking bother me in this episode is also one of the things that I have to give it a little bit of credit for, and that's that other ponies, and Spike, I believe, actually try to convince, Pinkie Pie that she's being jealous. The other saying that Pinky is jealous also kind of bothers me. Pinky starting to think that they might be right is also kind of the thing that impresses me, for how mature that is, the actual use of cognitive dissonance. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe I am jealous, and I'm letting that influence how I'm seeing this. Because let's be really clear, she might be jealous and right at the same time. And it's also kind of annoying. Pinky knows that Gilda was being rude to her. Yeah, it's interesting that we get this, idea that Pinky is second-guessing herself, but at the same time, it's also kind of a little annoying. But the real problem with this episode is Gilda. She's boring. She's a one-note bully. Her method of speaking pattern, the way she speaks is also annoying, and not in a good way, like a bad 80s bully in high school. Annoying and not good. So notes to be made. The prank that they pulled on Twilight, wet chemistry takes forever. They just ruined her whole schedule for that day. Also, how long did it take to paint all those friggin' apples? The moral. The moral may actually be, if you want to get really clear on why I give this a 3 out of 5, it is the moral. The moral is confused. The thing is that Gilda and Dash do actually seem to be friends. Like, Gilda's friendship with Dash wasn't a false friendship, like the moral of the story is supposed to be. It's just that Gilda wasn't a very good sentient creature, I guess. Gilda wasn't a very good Griffon, is what I'm trying to say. So is the moral that bad people don't deserve friends, or maybe choose who your friends are wisely and guilty by association? Maybe your old friends change and pony people grow apart. I don't know. I think I'm overthinking this again. You know what? Actually, I don't need to know the moral. I think that the problem with this is that it's just not a particularly interesting or good moral, and Gilda's just not a good character at this point. But then again, Gilda is only being well-behaved around Dash, and hey, wait, don't Griffons eat horses? Hey, at least she's not eating horses. But still, Gilda, embarrassed herself for Dash. Also, just as a note, while all the pranks on Gilda by Dash are harmless, that was a lot of pranking in one party. Now, of course, in the episode, we're led to believe that all of these pranks were for every pony, and Gilda just stumbled into all of them, but come on! That's pushing it. As a quick addendum to this whole discussion about Gilda, the Griffon design in this show is really great. Like, it looks fantastic. In closing, I, of course, need to point out the true flaw, the true sin of this episode. And that is, how dare any pony prank our goddess Empress Celestia. Side note, Celestia actually had derpy eyes there for a moment. And it was actually a really funny scene. So, you know. All hail Princess Celestia. Stinky pie. The Junior Speedster song? Damn it. Gilda and Gash...